Hello everyone and welcome back to E2E. Today, I think we're just going to relax a little bit. Last episode, we were kind of all over the place the entire time. We did industrial foregoing, we did thermal, we worked on our mob farm, we killed some bosses, blah, blah, blah. Whole bunch of stuff, and none of it was connected at all. So I think we're just going to take the time to just chill out. And what is a good thing to do when you're trying to relax? Build some city infrastructure. I think that's what we're going to do today. It is going to be a building episode. So the first thing that I actually want to build is the Capitol building. It needs an exterior, right? Because right now it's just a border, and then it goes straight to grass. We need to fix that. I think I'm gonna add like a nice garden path around here, maybe a little sidewalk, some hedges, some flowers that are probably purple to stick with the theme of this. And then we can build some more roads going around the entire outside. I think I'm just gonna like encircle this with roads. That kind of makes sense. I'll see more about that when we actually get to that point. Then I kind of want to build some more roads, maybe connecting here to the Capitol Buildings road. We also need to come over here and we need to complete, or I guess start/finish/continue working on the river here. I started this a long time ago and this is what it looks like, and this is as far as I ever got. So I think we need to continue this. We're going to dig out the river. We need to add a retaining wall. Probably go up to here and it'll stop right about here, I guess, for now. We can also dig it out further. We need to do that. And we are also then going to build the thermal expansion building, mostly because I have buildings for all of the quest trees that are checked off: industrial craft, forestry, immersive, and nuclear craft. Mechanism we do have built. We could complete this at any point because we have the necessary stuff, minus this installer, but I mean, it's basically completed, so I mean, it's fine. So we're going to build that thermal building, and then I think we're also going to go ahead and build another skyscraper. I'm going to try to keep this as the tallest building in the city, but I would like to have some more urban development, you know? So I think we're going to build a skyscraper. Maybe it'll go here, maybe it'll go here, maybe it'll go there. I'm not really sure yet. And then once we have that skyscraper, we can see where we're at and how long the video is, because I have some ideas on what to put in the skyscraper for now. Probably the majority of the skyscrapers are going to be empty, because I kind of want to just fill them with like one-time machines or things that I need to automate, but I'm going to run out of room for, such as stuff like this, like the resonant ender and melted glowstone and melted redstone stuff, as well as the cryothium, which looks like I unplugged, plus the stone. Yeah, all of this stuff I'd like to move into like its own place inside of a skyscraper. Also like to do something similar for these two and get them with ore processing. Maybe we'll end up doing that today, maybe not. I'm not really sure. I guess in the meantime, we can check that we have 20,000 buckets of resonant ender, 15,000 of energized glowstone, and 7,000 of destabilized redstone. So that's pretty good. Plus 351,000 buckets of water. And I also went ahead and plugged in a magma crucible here, and we are now melting lava as well, just so we can make more cobblestone generators if we ever end up needing them. So first things first, we need to go and build the nice pathway around the exterior of the Capitol building. So now I'm thinking we want to stay on theme, but we also kind of want to blend it into the rest of the city, you know? So I'm thinking there is purple grass. Now the way you get this is you make purple grass seeds and then you just right click on grass. So we need grass seeds, which is a grass block, and then any kind of purple dye. Let's do like 3 to 5 blocks of purple grass. We can put hedges, we can put flowers, we'll put a sidewalk in there, and then we can get to the actual road that goes around the building. Probably should have tested these before. I just went ahead and mass crafted all of these, but I guess we'll find out if I'm crazy or not. And then we right click. That did not work. Oh, a block of dirt? Really? Oh, okay. So it looks like we're going to have to do a little bit of excavation. But there we go. Purple grass. Kind of looks a little out of place, but also it fits quite well. And also it is nighttime. So let me turn on my night vision here. I don't know if I ever said that. Yeah, I've got night vision on this thing, and I almost never use it. Yeah, that looks pretty right. Okay. Now, the real question is, can we place flowers on there? Let me go grab a mystical flower here. Oh, yeah, and as you can see, we're sitting in the light, and my night vision, I get blinded. But you can place flowers on it. Perfect. All right, so that's going to be the plan, then. Surround this entirely in purple grass, plant some flowers, build a sidewalk. Before we go ahead and jump to that time-lapse, though, there is something I should say. I went ahead and installed the replay mod, so we can actually get some cinematic time-lapses instead of me just speeding up the footage of running around. So hopefully that'll make the time-lapses a lot better to watch because you can actually see the build progress instead of just see me running around at Mach 12. But had a little bit of trouble installing the replay mod initially. As you can see by the main menu, It took quite a bit of time to get this to work, and even now it's still kind of sketchy. Basically, I had to edit the main menu, like editing mods JSON file, and add a bunch of button garbage in there so we can actually click this button, and then we can actually work on the replays. It was a whole mess. Anyways, let's just build some stuff already. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse. I just went through it and processed it, and man, that is a lot nicer than just speeding up the footage. So time lapses from now on will look like that, and that will be a lot better. Anyways, so we got all of the purple grass around, and we got the kind of sidewalk laid out. Now, there is a reason I'm not looking at it, and that's because I've done a little bit of extra work. I was going to go look for some purple flowers to put in there. Let's see, mystical purple flower. The only way to get these is to grow mystical flower essence, or you find them in the world. You cannot put these in a phytogenic insulator or a garden close to grow more of them. And I did look into getting those mystical flower seeds, but as you can see, we need mystical flower clusters, mana diamonds, and mana pearls, and my mana setup is currently, let's just say, scattered on the floor. So instead, I went and tried to find some other purple things, such as purple slimy grass and slimy ferns from Tinker's Construct, but then I couldn't place those on normal dirt or the colored dirt, so instead, I just copy-pasted everything with building paste. And as you can see, we have a nice little garden out here. But yeah, honestly, I think this looks pretty good, and it gives us a nice border between the actual building and what will end up being the road, which is what I'm going to be doing next. So obviously, we're going to be building the road. I think I'm going to go all the way around the building in a square. That just makes the most sense, and we'll basically just put it right on the border. Like, this is the border between the road and the building. And then what we can do from there is we can start running some roads everywhere else and get a little bit more planning done. Because right now I've been building the buildings and then the roads. I think it would be a better idea to build some roads and then we can design buildings around the general space we have. I don't really like being constrained on like a specific size of a building because that just makes it, a lot harder to build something that actually looks good with scale like this. If I had limited space, this definitely would not look like this. It would look like probably the other one, if you can remember what that looks like. And we all know that that looked horrible. Here we go, second time lapse. Hopefully this one looks as good as the first one. I don't think my area has ever been so barren. Yep, just here for a little bit of a progress update, as you can see, and as you've seen in the time-lapse, which did look a lot better, by the way. Yeah, it's barren. It's kind of eerily barren, as a matter of fact, so we need to, we need to fix this. We need to do some terraforming. That's what we're going to do next. I'm either going to start by bordering the river, or I'm going to start by landscaping. I haven't really decided yet because I don't know what I want to do with the river. Oh, and if you notice this, I accidentally vein mined a piece of dirt. And since I don't like just having random holes in the ground, I decided to dig out the whole area. So we're going to fix that a bit later. I don't know what I'm going to do with this river, though. I might just kind of cut it here, like this landmass here, put maybe like a port or something here, and then maybe a building angled this way, just so we can have, some thing to do with the river, and it also makes it worthwhile that the river actually is here. So I think that's the plan. We're probably just going to, again, cut it like that, fill in this side, at least this side of the river. I think we can leave the other side as a beach, but I'll probably do a little bit of cleanup just to make the river look nice. And then we'll go from there. And also, this side of the river needs to be filled in with water because right now it is just ground. I'll probably go to here, though, because this half of the city is going to be like the big buildings. I think the Capitol building is going to act as like the, hey, you're entering the large building area as opposed to the small building area. So I think that's how that's going to work out. So the large building area is going to come later. We might actually build a large building today, depending on how much time we have. But I think there will be plenty of time to build one. Why don't we just go ahead and get started with the river? Ah, would you look at that? Now that is a lot nicer of an area over here. Now, albeit it is a little flat, but I did do that on purpose. This area over here, as you can see, it's currently just barren. I am going to be filling this in with water, but that's going to take a little bit of work and especially a little bit of effort because we're going to have to dig this out to look, like a river. We're going to have to do that for the entire river as well. I've kind of done it near the wall. I dug down exactly 3 blocks so I could actually get the wall to look nice, but we're going to have to make the river look a little bit better than this, especially over here because it is very flat. I'm thinking eventually over here we're also going to kind of cut this wall out and maybe install a dock of some kind just for like shipping and stuff. But I'm not really sure. We'll get there when we get there. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I am actually going to get this done. But if you noticed in the time-lapse, I was using my molecular deconstructor because my pickaxe is quite slow. And I think it's about time we fix that. So why don't we go ahead and just make a new pickaxe real quick. Hopefully it'll insta-mine, and then we can, basically insta-mine stone with our unbreakable pickaxe. And then I won't have to recharge my molecular disassembler every 7 seconds. So I think I'm probably going to follow suit with my laser gun here. It's going to be a supremium head. Probably going to have something that'll make it faster on the handle, and then maybe oscillogloss in there. I'm going to have to look into it, but supremium is going to be the tool head for the pickaxe. So let me go do a little bit of research in Tinkers and get all the materials ready, and then we can go ahead and make the pickaxe and add some water. Alrighty, materials have been gathered. We went with supremium pickaxe head, night slime binding, the unnatural modifier. Basically, the higher mining level you are, if you're mining stuff that's a lower mining level, it'll mine faster. Haven't really seen that work out too well, but I did test it with the supremium pickaxe head. It does insta-mine stone, which is exactly what we want. Also went with a hard carbon tool rod to give it that lightweight modifier, which also increases mining speed. Let's go ahead and make a pickaxe here. Ta-da! Alright, so as you can see, I also have a bunch of modifiers ready, but this only has 2 slots. So we're going to use our first slot on an embossment. Boom, 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 boom. And prismarine. Of course, we actually have to make the prismarine into some kind of tool. So I'm thinking just a tool rod. Jagged and aquadynamic. Jagged doesn't really do much, but aquadynamic means it will work in the water better, which is kind of the use case we need. So We can give that aquatic, or aqua dynamic even. And then our next thing is we can either add a diamond to increase all stats, reinforcements to make it unbreakable, redstone to increase mining speed, or lapis to give it luck. But I think I'm going to go with a diamond first, just to give it a minor increase to all stats. And then we need to go level this thing up. But it looks like we still have an extra modifier, so I guess the embossment doesn't actually do that. So let's just start using our reinforcements. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to try to reinforce this all the way up to unbreakable, and then we can add our luck and haste afterwards. Alright, but as you can see, we have no modifiers left, and the only way to get more modifiers is to get some XP. So I guess we're going to get some XP. And there we go, we're up to 6 more modifiers. That's obviously not enough, but once we start using this pickaxe, we can always increase everything later. So let's grab reinforced 2, reinforced 3, reinforced 4, and then finally a reinforced 5, also known as unbreakable. Perfect. Okay, and then should we do luck or haste? This can already insta-mine stone, so let's just get luck going first. And we can also, can we go up to luck 2? We can, perfect. And then all we have to do once we get another modifier is go to luck 3. But it looks like we can already do that because luck you can just increase the levels already without using extra modifier slot. So we have an extra modifier slot, we might as well get haste 1. I don't think we can get haste 2. No, we can't because we don't have an extra modifier. And even if I click over here, nothing's going to happen. So that is our new pickaxe. We can go ahead and put the old one in the retirement area along with the manualium rapier. Eventually, I'll build a nice little place for these, like the old tools to go. But for now, they're just going to chill right here. And that is our new pickaxe. So now, we can go clear out the river better. And there we have it. Now that, I'd say, is a pretty solid lake. Well, I mean, I guess it's more of a river, but it's kind of a lake over here. That didn't take as long as I thought it would, and also I just now noticed that this one little piece of stone here is not supposed to be there. There we go. Yep, I didn't think it would take that long. It didn't really take that long, probably about an hour. So, you know, honestly, that was pretty worth it. Okay, and now at least our river looks better on this side. Okay, so with this river being fully completed, at least for now, we are going to build a dock here later, but we're not doing that yet. I think the next step that we're going to do is let's just build the thermal expansion building. I think we're going to put it here. It might go this way. It might go this way. I'm not really sure yet. But then once we get that in place, we can figure out where this road is going to go and in turn get the rest of the roads done. We're going to get a nice factory to get some metals melted down so we can get rich slag so we can make some more endgame stuff later. The thing about the induction smelter is, though, you actually have to smelt things. And since we kind of have some things that smelt down, so I think we're going to go ahead and move these two ore farm setups into the thermal building. We're going to then send all of these ores that we get here into a induction smelter to smelt them down. I think it'll do 1 to 3. No, I think it does 1 to 1 with sand. No, it's 1 to 2 with sand. Okay, that's not bad. So that'll be pretty good. And then, of course, we're going to have a surplus of ingots. Luckily for me, there's got a little bit of ingot storage over here, so I think we're going to set up a system to pipe the output ingots from the thermal building into our ME system somehow. But that's a little bit later. Why don't we go ahead and get the thermal building built? Alrighty, here we are in a creative testing world. As you can see, yeah, it's creative mode. And I've got this block palette behind me. So I wanted to kind of give an explanation of what I was trying to build before I actually built it, so you guys could kind of see the vision, you know? Basically what I'm going for is I'm trying to mimic the color scheme of the resonant cell frame, which is, you know, enderium, lumium, and destabilized redstone. I went with gold instead of lumium because lumium is a gas. I don't think you can actually make lumium blocks. No, you can't. So that's a bit unfortunate. So we're gonna just go with gold. It's pretty much the same, and it's a little bit more bright. It kind of contrasts with the other buildings we've got, because all the other ones we've got, you know, silver, wood, white, silver, you know, they're all kind of just white and silver, and we need to just like break that up a little bit. This is going to be the one of the main materials we use. This is going to be another. This will be like for floors, walls, and ceilings and such. And then we're probably going to end up using destabilized redstone as some kind of liquid, maybe for fountains, maybe for like faucets, maybe for like liquid pipes. Not really sure on that. We also got a bunch of other blocks here to choose from in case we need to add a little bit of extra textures. Like these two, probably going to use these for pillars or kind of like reinforcements that wrap around the building. I think I'm also going to go for a more open plan, like windows everywhere. Thermal expansion, at least in this mod pack, feels like we're in the modern technological era. So I looked up modern factory buildings, and lo and behold, there's a whole bunch of glass, just like every modern building that ever existed. So that's probably what we're going to go with. I'm going to go with a light chiseled glass because there's kind of like a yellow gold border that goes around it. And I think I'm going to break it up with gold blocks chiseled into coins. We won't be able to see the top and bottom, so we won't see that texture, but we can see this kind of like rigidy pillar-ish texture. So I'm going to try to break up the glass, not in squares, going to try to do some diagonals. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I guess cue the time lapse and wish me luck, because this one might get a little complicated. And there we have it. Thermal expansion building has been designed. But as you could see in the time lapse, it was getting pretty late, so we didn't actually get the roof done. So I went ahead and just did that. I didn't think it'd be worth time lapsing it because it only took me like 15-20 minutes. So here we go. Basically, I added some little spiky thingies. I don't really know what these are. It's kind of like a detail, I guess. I don't know. It just looks cool. And then, of course, we went with red. Resonant cell frames, they do have red, as you can see on the inside there. So we went with a little bit of red on here just to add a little bit of extra color. I also went ahead and installed all the roofs, obviously. And I fixed up this area because it was looking pretty barren. This glass floor is temporary, by the way, but this will be like first floor, actual factory area. This will be where machines go. You come in here to like the indoor break room. You go over here. This was kind of like a showroom, so to speak. Not much machines are going to go in here. I don't even think if anything is going to go in here, but it's just like more of a decoration, since this is going to be the part that's visible from the lighthouse, and also the road is going to go right underneath the building, so that should be pretty cool. And then we go ahead and we head up here. We can access the second floor factory and also the outside break area. So now there is no roof access other than this destabilized redstone waterfall that just kind of goes through the center of the building. But I'm thinking this just as a nice centerpiece, you know, adds a little bit of detail and kind of a support building to make it seem like the entire, you know, structure up top is actually supported by something. So I'm pretty happy with this building. It is very bright and it doesn't really match the thermal expansion theme. But as we discussed, thermal expansion is basically just silver and white machine blocks again, so I kind of wanted to do something a little bit more flashy. And also, as you saw, I pasted in the area where it would be built. I don't usually like doing that, but since I kind of wanted to run the road under it, I decided, well, let's just copy it over so we can have exactly enough space to run the road where it needs to go. So I guess now we can go ahead and get this copied over to the server. And if you couldn't tell by now, this whole thing is made out of cobalt, gold, redstone, and glass. Yeah. If it weren't for the textures of this would resemble like the first building you ever build in creative mode, which is entirely made out of diamond blocks and gold blocks and emerald blocks. But since it's textured, it kind of still looks like an actual building. So pay no mind to that. So the earlier we get this copied over and figure out exactly how much we need, the better things are going to turn out. So let's get a measurement going here. Alrighty, moment of truth. Can we actually copy this entire thing? No way. Well, I guess the way to test this is we grab a piece of paper here. Oh, wow, it does actually work. And it'll give me a full resource list as well. Okay, all things considered, that's not nearly as bad as I thought. Nuclear craft building required more materials than this does. Then again, I guess this is really just a big box, basically, with a bunch of detailing. So it's not going to be like the end of the world expensive, but still. Alrighty, well, good news. It fits in the single blueprint and everything is in the correct orientation already. So as you can see here, we can kind of see what it's going to look like here. I think it's going to look pretty good. Of course, we are going to have to add the road and the floor, especially to the bottom floor afterwards. But for now, everything looks like it is in place and ready to be pasted. So again, all we have to do now is gather the resources. Before I got off yesterday, I decided, you know what? We have a bunch of copper and gold being processed in our ore maker. So I went ahead and set up 2 Mechanism 3X ore processors, and it's been running for a couple hours, and we're up to 1,300 ingots of cobalt and 1,300 ingots of gold. And those are in stacks, by the way, so we have quite a bit of cobalt. So why don't we do a little bit of quick math to see exactly how many blocks of cobalt we can make with all this. Oh my god, I think I overdid it by a mile. 1,314 stacks times 64, 84,000 ingots, divide that by 9, 9,300 blocks. Okay, I overdid it. That's okay, though, because we are going to need cobalt and gold eventually anyway, especially for making singularities here. Let's go take a look. Gold singularity. You need these to make the infinity catalyst and the ultimate singularity, and, it takes 10,000 gold ingots. Gathering all these materials is going to be extremely boring, though, so I'm just going to cut back when I have all these, because I don't think you guys want to watch me craft 3,000 blocks of cobalt and then chisel it, so I'll just go get that done real quick. Alrighty, fellas, resources have been acquired. We now also just have 55,000 cobalt and 67,000 gold just kind of chilling in the system for later use. So let's go ahead and get this placed. I want to just make sure that we have everything. We don't have the marker blocks, which is fine because we don't actually need them. And also, I realize now that there's only one real entrance, and it's over here, kind of towards the back. I'm fine with this because I'm just going to have a warp point, and it also kind of showcases the entire building. So theoretically, if you were to walk on foot, you'd have to walk all the way around and see the whole building before you could get in. So let's go get a good vantage point here so we can actually see this thing being built. Let's watch it from this side over here just because it's a little more detailed, and instead of showcasing off the factory, we're showcasing off the guest room. So here we go. You know what? We're going to go into no HUD mode for this. Nice. All right. Well, there we go. That is a building. That took about a little more than a third on the power of this thing. So good thing I recharged it. Otherwise, we would not have been able to build a building, and we would have had to press the button twice there. But ta-da. So next step, we need to go grab the destabilized redstone, put it up top there, and then get the floor done. So let's just go do that, I guess. The floor should be pretty easy. It's basically just going to be, I'm thinking we just do something similar to this with this pattern. It should be pretty simple. Let's just go do it. And there we have it. The floor has been constructed. The last thing we need to do is put in the destabilized redstone all the way up at the top here. Just like that. And that should flow right the way down here and make for the centerpiece of the building. Thermal expansion building is officially done. The last thing we need to do to make it official is put down our Enderbook waypoint. Thermal B. Bam! And now we can warp back whenever we want to. Now another thing of note, there is no lighting in this building. As you can see if I hit F7 here, no lighting at all. And I don't think I'm going to put any in here either. Now there is a very specific reason for that. Potato Master has built something at his new base over here. This thing right here, this is a astral sorcery ritual thing that prevents mob spawning. Instead of lighting up everything, why don't we just put down one of these? And then we never have to worry about mob spawning anywhere in this city. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. But that means we're going to have to get into magic. But you know what? We needed to get into magic anyway, so that's probably what the next few episodes are going to be. It's just going to be pure focus on all three of the magic mods. We're just going to try to knock them out and get everything done that we want to. I think the next thing that we should do is let's put something in the thermal building, right? We need to move all of our extra tech that we have. We move that all over there. We can put the thermal expansion chest over there as well, just so we have the extra pieces over there when we need them. Maybe we could set up a couple arboreal extractors in there on a tree just for whatever reason. Probably going to end up using RTGs, although depending on how power intensive this next machine that I'm going to be is, we might end up just making a quick nuclear craft reactor setup. Not really sure, and we're going to have to figure that out. But the next thing that I am going to be building, and the big quotes machine that's going to be going in there, is these. Now technically this is not thermal expansion at all, except for the ore processing. So if we go ahead and we take a look at Fluxed Phytogrow, this is used in the advanced crafting recipe to make the crafting table. You only need 2, so it's not really worth making a whole bunch. But you can use the phytogenic insulator to speed up production of literally anything if you have Flux Phytogrow, and it will make things go very, very fast. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we get a setup that can make one of the components for this? Because the components you need here is rich slag, some kind of nitrate, and charcoal. Rich slag is another thing that we're going to need. Now the only way to get this is by smelting in an induction smelter. It will also give us a let's find the conversion ratio. Here we go. If we use sand, which we're probably going to end up doing because cinnabar, not really viable to get a lot of cinnabar because you have to crush redstone. So I think we're just going to go with sand. That'll give us a nice 1:2. Not the best conversion ratio, but also since this is going so fast, it really doesn't matter. And then what we can do, once that's done, we can ship that back to our main storage system here and import it directly into this drawer controller. The way I'm going to do that, since I don't really want to run a giant cable all over the place, that sounds painful. So instead what I'm going to do is we are going to get an ender chest. We're going to use purple, purple, and then maybe like white. Purple, purple, white will signify that this is metals. And then any product we make over in the thermal building from smelting down the ores will get sent into purple, purple, white, which we will have right here, and then ship it straight in to the drawer controller. Since we're going to be moving these, I figured I'd just start processing all the ores in this drawer area because I am going to be sending everything separately, and we can like recycle these drawers. I already smelted down the iron, and now we're working on copper and gold. I originally was going to build like a big skyscraper and start building like the downtown city kind of in this area, but we've done a lot of building this episode, and honestly, I think we need to start making a little more progress on, actually completing some mods here. So I think we're just going to get the thermal stuff done up until we have all those factories down, and then we'll call it for the day. I guess we can go set up the arboreal extractors first. Yeah, let's just set it up like this. I'm just going to place some dirt around here to make it look a little nicer and look like we're actually trying to, make it function properly. So can we not grow a little taller, guys? Come on. And then simply just place the arboreal extractor down, and that should make this, I think. Yep, there we go. Sap is being collected. Okay, now what do you actually do with the sap? Do you have to put it in something? How do you get rosin? You need resin. How do you get resin? How did I get rosin before? Am I stupid? What was this for then? All right, I figured out the problem. It was the type of tree. I'm not going insane. Oak trees generate sap. The other types of trees generate resin, and since I used acacia trees last time I tested it, because, we were over there and we are in a savanna, that would be why that worked like that. So we're going to go ahead and use birch trees, because I think they also work the same. So hopefully you'll actually grow inside. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, everything is back in working order now. We'll run this into a fractionating sill, and then everything will be good to go. How much power do you take? Maximum power, 300 RF per tick. Yeah, I think we all know where this is going. This is going to supply that machine just fine. We are now making rosin, and we also need to get rid of this tree oil. So I guess we can figure out a way to do that. I mean, I honestly would just put like a fluid pipe right here and then maybe a trash can or something over there, and then that'll take care of that fluid so we don't have to worry about it. One of 3 things made. Haven't done one of these in a while. Why don't we just kind of... Alrighty, a little while later we have rebuilt the ore processor, not the netherrack one, just the normal one. Now, it is a little different, as you can see. I've kind of just put RTGs everywhere. I think a lot of my buildings are going to start looking like this until I have a centralized power grid in the industrial area. I mean, most of the stuff you can run off of RTGs. Like, these only take 100 RF per crafting cycle, and the crafting is pretty slow, to be honest. So, you know, we can just slap them down here, we can slap some over there, just to make sure everything gets powered properly. This is basically set up. All we need to do now is get the ores out and send them into another drawer system, which I think I can just get set up real quick. I'm going to have one 1x1 drawer for gold, and then the other ones we can just put down our 2x2s, and that's where the other ore is going to go. So now that this is in order, these 2 are going to get extracted and sent into the ender chest, which we'll deal with later. Right now, I want to get all these ore processed. This is going to go in some induction smelters. I don't know how many we're going to need. It looks like we're going to need quite a few because these look like they're coming in rather fast. So I think we're going to grab 2, 1 for each drawer. Sand gets inputted and iron ore gets inputted, and then that will make iron and a % chance of rich slag. How do we actually get sand? So we could run into 2 crushers, or we could just make a stonework factory again. These are kind of slow though, and I don't know if we're going to have enough output from a single one. We could also use a double crusher setup, but that's going to be kind of power intensive and it might take a little bit. You know what? Let's just go with stoneworks factories. We also need to figure out how much power these take. I don't know how much it is. You know, it's fine. What if I just put an RTG on there and see if it actually is fully powered? Oh, it is. Wow, look at that. All right, so that looks to be pretty good. So then we can pipe all of this into a basic drawer. Yep, that looks like it just worked. And this one isn't getting any because we need to upgrade the output rate of the sand, obviously. The real question is this actually going to get everything done correctly? I have no idea. Now, another problem with these thermal machines is I don't think you can actually take anything from the face. So getting things out of here is going to be a bit of an issue. All right, are you going to take out the slag? Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay, this is exactly what we want. All right, now both of our induction smelters should be cooking at full force. Okay, the real question is, are we still going up in sand? It looks like we are, but we need to just keep an eye out. So we're at 20 stacks. If we come back and it's at lower than that, then that's a problem. We're going to have to install more of those, which is oh so convenient. Okay, so now all we have to do is take the ingots out of here, and we put them into the ender chest. So I guess we can go make one of those. All right, we need 2 of them. So these are going to be linking together. White, white, white. Someone's using white, white, white. Huh, weird. And we're going to mark this as purple, purple, white. Purple, purple, white is going to be the ores. And as you can see, when I open this one, the other one opens. So that means they're connected. I think I'm going to grab a logistical transporter because it's 128 items per second. I wonder if I have any of those. Oh, I do. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to use one of these just because of the higher flow rate and I don't have to upgrade it. Yeah, in you go, buddy. Okay, so now theoretically, if I were to put... Is nickel connected? I don't know if it's... No, it's not. Of course not. If I were to put 4 pieces of lapis in here, out it goes, instantly back into the system. We also have to get the cinnabar factory for gold, and we gotta kill these guys. Yeah, do remember, this isn't lit up yet. We need to get the astral sorcery thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that, like, pretty quick, because it's getting really annoying. Now, you know, now that I'm thinking about this, we don't need any of this. I could just pump this straight into the system over there, and then we just have our box of resin in our storage system. That makes a lot more sense than doing it over here, doesn't it? Now, what are you doing here? This is why you light up your areas, fellas. So another thing that I want to do before I forget, we need to put all full upgrades in these. Some of them have it, like copper has it because we were, you know, processing copper. Gold has it as well. Everything else doesn't. So we're going to have to go get some more drawer upgrades. Luckily for me, I set my UU matter factory to just kind of make litherite. So we got 41 stacks of the stuff, which is quite good because this stuff is extremely expensive to make. And then we can upgrade everything that is going to be getting processed. So diamonds are getting processed, emeralds, lapis, flint, and coal. This is also going in there. Let's see, silver, yep. Copper is already full, osmium, aluminum, iron's full, gold's full, tin, lead, and nickel. I think there's one more. Steel, Thorium, magnesium, ardite, cobalt, lithium, and boron are currently not, but they will be eventually. So we probably should just go ahead and get these done. Should I upgrade these? I mean, they have void upgrades. I just don't want to be wasting resources, right? Yeah, this is always kind of a scary moment. Oh my god, why is it doing that? Why are things getting just shot out randomly? Oh my god, what happened here? Oh, this is overfilling because we can't get stuff out of here yet. Yikes. Well, good thing we're getting that set up literally right now because things are shooting out the top and we cannot deal with that. So, okay, yep, everything should be going in now. Oh my god, can my pipe keep up? Let me just dump all this garbage into the garbage. Hopefully, nothing's going to shoot out the top now. Okay, I'll come back and look at this when everything is back up in working order, but for now, I think I'm just going to go take a look at my system and kind of watch some resources come in, right? Yeah, as you can see, coal's going up there, some diamonds are probably going up somewhere, and now we're also going to be making rosin, which we can pipe out. I'm just going to go ahead and make another ender chest, though. Yep, looks like that just worked. Okay, purple, purple, white is going to be the thermal building, I guess. We could also just send everything into purple, purple, white, but I feel like our pipe is going to eventually get like capped out on throughput, so that's not going to work out. Now all we have to do is get the gold set up, so we have to run that into a pulverizer, I believe. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yep, pulverizer gold ore, and that makes cinnabar, and that's what we're going to be processing all of our gold into. And then we can just smelt down this pulverized gold in any kind of smelter we want. So let's just go ahead and make a mechanism one, probably just because it's cheap. Energy smelter, yeah. And straight in you go. Yep, and then gold is going in as well as the cinnabar. Perfect. Okay, so now cinnabar is actually going to get stuck in here because I haven't actually put it in the system, right? Rich slag, cinnabar, and rosin have all been acquired, and that's that basically done. So now I think the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to move this one as well, just so we can get more gold, ardite, netherrack, or ardite, cobalt, and then these four. We are going to need them eventually, so we may as well just do it. Maybe I can do the actual snap transition this time, because I did forget to do the other one, so here we go. Ah! And there we go. Second ore processing system is in place. This one was a lot simpler to make than that one was, mostly because we already knew what we were doing. We just had to build it a second time. The only situation we had to deal with this one is sand. I had to move it over a block so we could actually access it. But everything should be going in, smelting down into the ingots, and sent into the same ender chest as before. And of course, gold is still going into here and creating our cinnabar. So we can go ahead and go back to the base real quick because I did AFK it for just a little bit to get all these materials built up. You can see from the top here, we've got quite a lot of some of the metals. That's just because the processing over here has been going quite smoothly. We've got through almost all of that. Those I just need to put into the system. Everything else we should have a couple thousand extra of now, like, let's see, 17,000 silver, 16,000 aluminum, stuff like that. But also, nuclear craft didn't AFK that for as long, but it should still be going up over time. And also, if we go ahead and take over here at... And also, if we go ahead and if we take a look at our drawers, we have 14 stacks of rosin, 13 stacks of cinnabar, and 63 stacks of rich slag. That is quite a bit, which also reminds me I probably should get the upgrades in there because I don't want to be overflowing on these things. I mean, even if it overflows, it gets voided, but still, I'd like to, you know, have the capacity to carry as much of that as possible. So I think with that, there's one final thing that we need to do. We just warp back over here to our thermal building. The road. Yeah, you know, we said we were going to build a road under here, and there's no road. So let's go ahead and just build a road. I think, obviously, it's going to be wrapping under this building. It's going to be going this way. What is happening here? Oh. What? 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 Someone's installed streetlights and sidewalks in my factory. What is happening? Why is this surrounded in caution signs? Why is there a smug-looking emoji face? Okay, I built this one, I won't lie. I believe something suspicious is afoot, and we must figure out what happened. Eviction notice? Property too close to road? Removed by 11-1?
Wait, that's illegal.
Who put an eviction notice in my city? Why is Potato Master here? He just joined. What is this? Why are there light posts? Why is there a sidewalk? I got a question for you. Why is my building boarded up and there is an eviction notice closed by 11-1? That's not very far away, man.
Oh, you said you were going to put a road here, and it's kind of close to the road.
I see. Well, see, now this is where the big brain people down at the science lab have called city planning, right? We're
Right?
just gonna make this into a park, so we don't have to put the road here.
Oh, so the
Yeah.
road's not going
No,
here.
it's gonna go to here, and then the road's
Ah,
gonna run this way.
you got me there. You got me there. Eviction, unstated.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I know you said you wanted like a sidewalk and everything, and my guys in the labs came up with a good sidewalk design and everything. Came up with a pretty good lamp design. I'm actually pretty proud of this lamp design.
Yeah, the lamps are good. Yeah, I think the boys at the lab, I think they knew what they were doing. All these other options, they don't look like they'd work. So, you know
Yeah, I
what?
told you the boys at the lab, they
Tell the
cooked.
boys at the lab that they know what they're doing. All right.
All right, I'll tell the boys at the lab that they know what they're
Let's
doing.
go.
And this is definitely not a cover for anything.
What? That's not reassuring. He definitely did something. There's no way that he just built a sidewalk, right? That it can't be like that. There's got to be something else going on here. Unfortunately, though, I looked. I didn't find it. So whatever it is, he's hidden it very well, or he hasn't done it yet. If anyone sees anything weird, please let me know, because I obviously can't see it. But he's definitely done something. Okay, well, now that that has all happened, I guess. Yeah, we do need to actually put in the road here, but now that we actually have a nice sidewalk design, I can actually put in a real road. So now I don't have to, like, put in the road as a temporary thing. I can actually put in the sidewalk with streetlights. So, hey, you know what? That actually kind of helped. Alrighty, I'd say the roads are now complete, at least for now. As you can see in the time lapse, we got this road completed all the way up to here and all the way over to the entrance. You know, at least for this episode, everything is as it should be. So next episode, I think we're just going to jump straight into magic. Probably going to have to start with Thaumcraft, because if we go take a look at the getting started, no, the gates, it goes Thaumcraft, Astral, and then Botania. So it looks like we're going to have to start with Thaumcraft. That's going to be a bit interesting. I've never touched Thaumcraft in my life, so it's going to be a big learning curve if I had to guess. Once Thaumcraft is done, we can jump into Astral Sorcery, and then hopefully we can get that ritual to stop mobs from spawning. And as you can see, and as we talked about in the almost catastrophic eviction issue that we almost had, right here is going to be a park. Mostly because the ways the road's set up, I'd have to move this building, and I'm not doing that. So we're going to put a park here, and in that park, we are going to put the mob no spawning ritual, and hopefully that will stop mobs from spawning throughout the entire city over here. That is the goal, at least. So I guess that's going to be it for this episode. Got a lot of stuff done, a lot of city planning, and a lot of city building. This entire building, this entire area, and the roads as well. Plus, we got a new setup for ore processing that ships straight into our ME system. That's going to be it for this episode. We're going to be jumping into Thaumcraft next time. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. Goodbye.